Hello and welcome, I hope you're having a great day. I'm sorry this video is coming out so late. There was a separate video that I put out that covered a lot of the news up until the patch actually was released a few days ago, and I've kind of been figuring out some stuff until today. So without further ado, let's hop into the news for this week. Now before I get into any of the actual patch notes going on for this week, I do want to address something a bit more community organized. It's no secret that a ton of whales in this game have started leaving en masse. We see this in EU and NA posts constantly. I've seen a million different people selling all their gear, throwing everything away, or trying to get rid of it some way, shape, or form. And these were very prominent players in the space. And it feels like this is happening more now than it was the previous couple patches. I think the biggest reason being that people are just getting fed up with things in the game that maybe have built up over time, or maybe the Yeti patch was the straw that broke the camel's back in terms of whatever content, battle passes, events going on, etc. You get to name it. So because of this, there has been a community post on the Neo Discord from none other than Shuvidola. He is a premier Warlock player over on NA, seems to have spent quite a bit of money on this game, although I can't personally tell you, I don't know. And he is trying to organize a community town hall meetup, if you would. There is a link on this post to a survey that he has set up through whatever university organization they are part of, and they are trying to get everyone to go into a Discord for an eventual town meeting. Now, I will say I personally took the survey. I did join the Discord, and I'm waiting for this town meeting to be announced. The date and time, whether or not I can attend is a different thing. But I do think that something like this is needed in some way, shape, or form. I don't think this is necessarily the best way to do it, but I feel like something is better than nothing, and right now this is the opportunity. So for anyone who wants to try to give a last hurrah or just another go at making sure that your concerns are addressed from NCSoft, this is something going on. This is the link. I will not be linking anything personally in this video, just in case, but you can always find this in the Neo Discord and go from there. And now onto the actual news posted for in-game stuff. We start off with a Poharan plushie. The Poharan plushie is something a lot of people I know have wanted. It's $30 through their store. You're gonna get delivery about, 6 months from now? So if you feel like that's worth it, go for it. Each plushie order also comes with a code for BNS Neo and BNS Heroes, so if that's something you're interested in, there you go. Up next is a real quick quality of life clarification. The Dragon Express tab with all the Wyvern fragment stuff has been conserved across the patches. All your Wyvern fragments are still intact. Anyone who's played the last couple of days will know this, but the one nice thing in addition to all of this is the fact that you can now get Wyvern fragments from doing World Boss. So with the addition of the Wyvern fragments that you can get from World Boss, you might be able to see the actual rewards that you're trying to work towards come sooner than you expected previously. So hopefully instead of 4 months to get something that you want, it might take 3 if you're lucky with World Boss drops. Next up, we actually have the Silverfrost highlights infographic posted in English. Unlike the janky translated thing that I had posted last video, I will not be going over these because, like I said, these were gone over in the last video. Anyone who wants that rundown can check out the video posted previous to this one. For now, you just have them on the screen scrolling down. You can check them out on the Discord on the links as well. Next up, we have the Stop the Madness of the Yeti Cave event, which is probably the most controversial event that they put out with this patch. The reason why it's so controversial is because of the first part of it, which is basically a ranking system for people who can run the dungeon, which is almost no one. And to put a ranking system in place for those players feels super out of touch for all the players who want an event for them but can't actually clear Yeti. However, I do want to point out the second part of this event is for all players. The second part of this event rewards players for beating just the first and the 2 mid-bosses in the dungeon. You never have to actually touch the final boss. For the actual rankings system, I think you do have to beat the final boss, but for the second part, you only have to beat the 2 bosses before the Yeti. Both of them do not have timers on them, so you can take as long as you want with your party, and it basically comes in the form of a daily quest where when you complete the daily quest, you get a Yeti Lucky Portrait chest. These Lucky Portrait chests give you a blue or a purple portrait Of course, there's going to be a much higher chance of getting a blue portrait than a purple. You also have a special thing going on when you beat the Frenzy Chief Hunters, which is the 2 mid-bosses right before the Yeti, where they have a chance currently to drop a purple skill chest. Now, this is nice because it actually gives people a lot more incentive to try the Yeti dungeon and at least go through part of it, even though maybe not everyone can finish the actual final boss. In fact, most people cannot finish the final boss. This is something that has a lot of people pissed off because I think a lot of people saw the initial post about the Yeti or the part 1 of this event without being able to check in on the part 2. So I do want to just let it be known there is a part 2 for all players to be able to do. Remember, there is no time limit for these mid bosses, so you can take as long as you want with as little DPS of party as you want. You just need to be able to know the mechs and fight the bosses properly. Next up, following all the Yeti fun, we have the Illusion Yeti spawn boss event thing. It's basically Gold Boss from last patch, where instead of Bay Ido or the boss from Upper Nexus spawning, it's a Yeti. He will always spawn outside of rural outfitters at 4 times during the day: 4 p.m., 7 p.m., 10 p.m., and 1 a.m. server time. So if you go to that, you'll be able to pick up some nice loot boxes, which have a pretty good chance of giving you more gold than at least the last gold box did. It's much less of a insignia boss as more as it is a gold / card boss now. There's also a world boss event going on right now, where when you kill the world boss, you have a chance to get an extra bonus loot chest. In addition to this bonus loot chest, which can give you any of the tiers of world boss treasure, as well as a blue portrait chest, there's also a special thing happening with push notifications, as they say, 10 minutes before the world boss spawns during the weekends. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Basically, the way to describe it is 10 minutes before the world boss appears, there will be a push notification delivered around the world to say, here's an extra bonus chest, and this bonus chest can have anything from portrait chests to purple book chests. So maybe you can get lucky there. There is an attendance event going on right now. If you're able to log in 21 days during this time period, you're going to be able to collect the maximum rewards. These rewards range from everything from blessing potions to transformation stones and ascension stones. And the final reward for these chests is a heroic honor soul shield primer selection chest, meaning that you're going to be able to get 1 honor soul shield selection primer. This feels a little strange since you're getting a Moonwater Honor Soul Shield primer chest instead of a Silverfrost primer selection chest. I feel like most people would just want the Silverfrost. However, I do know that it's hard to get those Silverfrost primers at the moment, so I'm sure for quite a few people the Moonwater Honor Soul Shield primer will be welcomed. Although, still a little strange that we're not getting the Silverfrost one at the end. We also have Hajoon's Tome returning for another bout. This one is going to be just like the one we just had, where it's 990 gems per box and you can get up to 20 boxes, but there is some critical differences with this one. This one, just like the last one, will give you a purple card for every box that you buy and have a chance to be able to craft something that can get you legendary cards or legendary boxes. However, this time the books boxes actually work a bit differently than last time, and it's a little interesting. Basically, the way it worked last time was you got to make 2 different chests that could give you either a legendary book box or a random purple book box. Now, instead of making the random purple books, you can make 4 purple book pages. And those 4 pages combine to make a single purple selector chest. Now, I don't know about you, but I would personally rather take the purple selector chest over the 2 random purple boxes every single day of the week, but it is a little hard to say that you're going to spend 20,000 gems on a single purple selector when basically every purple book on market that you're going to try and get is below 20k. You're only doing this really if you have a class that doesn't see your main DPS skill on market pretty often. Something like a summoner, a destroyer, or a warlock come to mind. You also do this if you're trying to get that legendary book. It does give you a 2% chance every single time you try to craft one of those purple pages to make that a legendary book instead. And this 2% stacks up to give you about a 7% chance, 7 to 8% chance of getting a legendary book if you do all 4 rolls for it. However, if you do hit the legendary book, there is a key difference from before. Before, when you hit the legendary book, it was a normal legendary book. You can dismantle it, you could sell it, you could do whatever with it. Now, it is a bound legendary book. And the reason this is a problem is because you're spending all these gems to gamba for this small chance, and if you hit the legendary book box, well, now it's bound. If you get a bad legendary book, you can't re-roll it. You can't dismantle it for the chance at 4 pages or 5 pages. You're dismantling it for a single legendary book page. which is absolute garbage. On top of that, it means you can't sell it either. So anyone trying to buy a bunch of these and then make a legendary book, if you get something that you just can't use, you're just stuck with a single legendary book page. Or a legendary book that looks really pretty in your inventory or really pretty on your character in that little golden orb slot, but doesn't really do much for you. On top of this, if you do hit that legendary book, you now have 3 random purple pages that are sitting around doing nothing, because you need 4 of them in order to combine. They're not normal purple pages like any of the other purple pages you use to combine into a purple book later for 50 fragments. No, they're just 3 selector, special, grade, whatever you want to call them, purple book pages that are completely useless sitting there. Now, of course, you did get a legendary book in exchange, which is great, but like I said before, you can't sell this legendary book. It's not going to get you anything. So if you just don't hit, you're just fucked. All in all, this legendary book should absolutely just be a normal legendary book and not bound. You should be able to sell it, you should be able to dismantle it for a normal amount of pages, or you should be able to dismantle it for at least the purple page to get back, so that way if you don't get something good, you can at least get your purple selector and get something decent out of that. I think I'd rather take a main skill purple than a trash legendary that I just can't use. And the funny thing about all of this in relation to the purple selector is the battle pass doesn't have one. So basically what they did was they said, here's a battle pass, we're not going to put a purple selector in there, instead you can pay 20,000 gems, aka 10 times the normal price of the battle pass, in order to get your purple selector from that instead. Or a random garbage legendary book. If you don't hit well. There are 2 battle passes this time around. There's a regular battle pass that you're used to, which culminates in a blue tiered special grade insignia box. It's not the greatest reward, I'll be honest. Honestly, the best things that you're going to be getting out of this box, or out of this battle pass rather, are the random boxes that will give you the blue, purple, and potential legendary pages. Those are going to go much more in your mileage for how you're trying to gear your character than basically anything else on the battle passes. In addition to the normal battle pass, you also have a Light of Enhancement pass, which is another 2,000 gems. However, this one's a little easier to get behind. I will say I do still spend 2,000 Vine Gems on the normal battle pass, while I haven't spent anything on the second battle pass yet, but I do plan to. The second battle pass gives its worth back in terms of what it allows you to upgrade for your character, giving you stuff to upgrade all of your purple equipment as well as your purple weapon. This is especially helpful for people who may not be able to get that kind of stuff really easily, since they are going to have a hard time farming Yeti, getting those purple weapon drops. Upgrading your weapon really does a whole lot for you and is something very relevant to your character progression. But outside of the extra materials that it gives for all of your weapon and accessory upgrades, there's also just free transformation stones that come from it, which is why I'm very positive about the second battle pass. Whether you buy it or not, you're at least getting a lot of transformation stones just by playing the game and doing some daily stuff for it. You don't even have to think about what you're doing, it's pretty easy, just regular simple stuff that you complete by doing the normal battle pass. So some free transformation stones for everybody coming slowly is a great plus, and if you really want the extra rewards, you can pay the extra 2k gems for it, and I think that's fair. And to wrap this all up, I'm just going to let the patch notes kind of scroll on the screen so you can take a look at that here if you don't want to actually navigate to the URL yourself. There's not a whole lot else to explain here. This is basically going over some nitty-gritty details. There were a lot of changes, especially to Blade Master this patch. A lot of people are now swapping builds, especially for people looking to play the Lightning build. However, outside of that, while it does look like there are a lot of changes to many other classes, as a Warlock player, I can say everything on the Warlock list that they mention here has already been done from several patches ago in the initial Silverfrost. They're just mentioning it here, either again or newly, even though it happened a long time ago. I'm not sure if that is the same for many other classes too, but either way, it does seem a little strange that a lot of these weren't actually notarized properly beforehand. With that, that's all I got for this week. Did you find the bestie bottle in the video? Be the first to comment the timestamp of the bottle below so that way I can get you a code, and with that, I will see you next time. Peace.